In today's episode, we're going to one of the hottest destinations in the United States, Asheville, North Carolina. We'll share 8 things we know you'll love about this lively area nestled in the mountains of North Carolina. And you want to be sure and stick around for number 1, because it will make it worth your trip to Asheville.
So we're going to start off with number 8. Asheville is easy to get around. It's got about 90,000 people that live there. It's very walkable. They have public transit. You can rent e-bikes. You can rent bicycles. There's a city bus system. There's a couple of things I will say that we learned. The locals claim that the bus system is not reliable as far as their schedule goes, so many of them suggested other ways of getting around. It's a hilly town. It is walkable, but you may want to find a neighborhood that you want to stop in and visit for a while, eat, drink, and take a rest, and then move on and walk up some more hills or down some hills and move around that way. There's also Uber.
There's a local taxi company.
A local taxi company as well, maybe more than one. But overall, it's not so big that you can't get around. And actually, most things I've read say it's easiest to get around by car. So depending on what you're doing that day, there are many options.
We were out at a bar and someone suggested that one of the best ways to get around when you were bar hopping was by e-bike. We kind of questioned the wisdom of this, considering it's very hilly, and we were pub hopping or brewery hopping. I didn't think that was a good combo, did you?
Last thing I'd want to do.
So we opted to walk most places, and we also took a taxi one night.
And we had some friends pick us up one day.
We did.
They were kind enough to drive us around. Like I said, it's easy to get around, depending on how you want to accomplish that. Number 7, Southern hospitality. Many people have probably heard of Southern hospitality. What I've learned by reading more about it, other than just my idea of what it was, there seems to be a general consensus about what the definition of Southern hospitality is. And it appears that there are 6 key factors. I'll just go through them and we'll elaborate a little bit later. But number 1 would be politeness. Number 2, good home cooking. Number 3, kindness. Number 4, helpfulness. And number 5, charm, which everybody's heard of Southern charm. And item number 6 would be charity. What do you think about that?
I think Asheville represents Southern hospitality well, considering the people we met.
I agree with that too.
Oh, bless your pudding sweetheart.
The only thing we didn't experience was the good home cooking.
Although we did have some excellent meals in restaurants.
We did.
So.
We did. Number 6, thriving food scene. Now, Asheville has become a destination for foodies. Several restaurants and chefs in the city have received acclaim for their creativity and updated versions of traditional Southern food, and then even international menus and flavors. There's quite a bit of variety and upscale restaurants around the city as well. And then you add in some great pub grub and bar burgers from all around Asheville. I think visitors will have plenty of options.
I think you're right. The food was amazing there, what we had, and we didn't even scratch the surface of the restaurant scene. One thing that I thought was really interesting is there's actually a company that will take you on a foraging tour and take you out into the woods to forage for wild food, and they've paired with 3 restaurants in Asheville that will take your food and make it into a dish for you at dinner.
That's cool.
So I will put a link down below in the description if you'd like to check that out. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful, we would really appreciate your support by subscribing. So, to subscribe, hit the button. Chris, show them where it is.
Down there.
So numbers 5, 4, and 3, we had a really hard time putting them in order. And we decided that it would depend on what your interests were, which one you ranked higher than the others. So 5, 4, and 3 are actually in no particular order. Number 5 is Biltmore Estate and historic architecture. Built the largest home in America, Biltmore Estate was built in the late 1800s by George Washington Vanderbilt in the chateau-esque style. It has 250 rooms and is filled with incredible furnishings and original artwork. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, it welcomes 1.4 million visitors a year. On the 8,000-acre estate, there are also 6 gardens, a stable, a dairy farm, a pub, an exhibition space, numerous accommodations, shops and restaurants, and the most visited winery in the United States. Now, on the northeast side of Asheville is the Omni Grove Park Inn, built in 1913, which contains the world's largest collection of original arts and crafts furnishings. It's been the guest to numerous celebrities, athletes, and no less than 10 U.S. presidents over the years. Downtown Asheville, there are numerous historic buildings that have been repurposed for today's use. There's some incredible versions of Art Deco buildings.
Yes.
Number 4, natural beauty and outdoor activities. Set in the stunning scenery of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Asheville is home to the southern part of the Blue Ridge Parkway, one of America's most scenic byways. The area is also home to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Pisgah National Forest, as well as DuPont State Forest, Chimney Rock State Park, and a multitude of other parks and trails. Also, 2 hours to the northeast is Mount Mitchell, which is the highest point east of the Mississippi in the U.S. Trails for hiking and biking are everywhere, as well as rivers and lakes for kayaking and fishing. If you're a fan of waterfalls, there are more than 60 waterfalls in the Asheville area. If you're more adventurous, you can try zip lining or canopy tours or whitewater rafting. And if you're into backpacking, the Appalachian Trail is just an hour away in Hot Springs, North Carolina. Right in Asheville, you can check out the Rad Skate Park, biking, walking, or running on the Greenways, or on a hot day, tubing down the French Broad River.
That definitely looked like fun.
It did.
The tubing.
It did.
And we saw numerous, like you said, the Greenways for people jogging, riding bikes, and pushing their children in strollers.
Walking their dogs.
Yep. It's a very outdoorsy kind of atmosphere around Asheville, and especially in the mountain area there.
It was very pet-friendly, too, I thought.
Oh, extremely pet-friendly.
Number 3, an amazing arts community. RAD, or River Arts District, is a core arts community of repurposed warehouses and mills on the bank of the French Broad River. This lively neighborhood is home to all types of artist studios, galleries, indie cinemas, and music venues, as well as quirky shops, bars, and restaurants, all set with a backdrop of fantastic street art. But art is everywhere in Asheville. Downtown, other neighborhoods, there are tons of murals and sculptures. They also have a bustling music scene with numerous live music venues. Also, talented street buskers and a drum circle. There's also comedy, dance, theater, and some super quirky little cinemas. And on Saturdays in the summer, there's Shindig on the Green, a free outdoor traditional dance and music festival featuring mountain bluegrass music. This city is the arts on steroids.
It's a lot of fun just to even walk through in the evening. One thing we didn't get to do was actually hear a lot of music. We did hear street musicians, and all of them were quite good. We did hear the beginning of the drum circle. Just the timing of everything didn't work out for us that week.
So much art. The murals were fabulous.
They are. They're everywhere.
They are. And it was great fun.
So number 2, arguably the best brewery selection in the U.S. Asheville's received the honor of having more breweries per capita than any city in the U.S. And Asheville is always ranked in the top 5 of USA Today's Beer City, USA. Anywhere in the metropolitan area of Asheville, you can go and find these little microbreweries that have popped up. Some of them have expanded into larger venues now since they've been around a little while. But there's everything from sours and stouts and whatever, IPAs, anything you want. There are also meaderies.
Wineries,
Wineries.
cideries.
Yes, yes. I mean, you can make a weekend out of pub hopping or brew house hopping.
Also, some of the breweries have more than one location, so if you're planning on meeting someone at a brewery, be sure you designate which neighborhood or what the address is, or you may not end up in the right place, or they might not.
Correct. We found that out. Was it Green Man?
Green Man.
Yes.
It's more than one location. And there are several breweries that have more than one location.
Yes.
And number one, the thing we think you'll like best about Asheville is the fact that there are so many things to do in this small area. Anything you could want to do. All of the arts, all of the outdoor activities, the hiking and fishing and kayaking, all of the theater, architectural tours, the food, the breweries. There's so much to do in this one area. It makes it a perfect destination for a getaway.
And if for some reason there's something that you're looking for that's not there, you can probably drive half an hour and find that certain thing that you're looking for, whether it's a certain kind of restaurant or music event. There are events going on everywhere and around that area.
So we'll be bringing you more on Asheville coming up. But in the meantime, take a look at this video from Crosby Grace Travels, also about Asheville. Thanks for hitting the road with us.
Thank you.